are you today?
I'm well, Aubrey. How are you doing?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're excited to hear a little bit more about you.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time.
Awesome. Well, want to start out by having you tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Where do you come from? A little bit more about your background.
Sure. I've kind of lived all over. The majority of my childhood was spent in Tennessee. So I grew up on the east side, on the East Coast. But when I was 15, my family moved to Tucson. My dad works for Raytheon, so we transferred to the plant in Tucson. So I finished my last 3 years of high school in Tucson, and then decided I wanted to go to the better ASU university. Came up here to go to ASU. So I've been in Phoenix for the past 15 years. So that's geographically kind of where I've been. I've been in really sales my whole career up here in Phoenix. I started in more of the advertising and marketing sales. And then the last 10 years, I have been in sales in the technology, staffing, and recruiting space.
Awesome. That's great. And I know it's been an interesting experience because we're doing this whole virtual onboarding and we've had a few people go through it, but I know it's a little bit different. Obviously, you had a lot of interviews. We had you talk to a lot of people before joining us. And so you really got the rundown of all things slalom. Has there been anything that surprised you since joining? I know it's only been a couple of weeks, but any surprises?
I think, like you said, just going through this process virtually is very unique. It's the first time I've ever done that. So that would be one big surprise. I mean, one thing I think a positive surprise was just every person I talked to, every conversation I had. And like you said, there was quite a few interviews. I just thought, wow, these are just great people, people who are smart and passionate and just seem like genuinely good people. So now that's a huge surprise, but as you're talking to people, not all companies have that. So that was a good experience for me, and it made me more excited to join the team.
Absolutely. And going through an interview process, sometimes it can seem too good to be true. So it's always a nice surprise when it's not too good to be true.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit, that's a little recap of your life and kind of work, but what do you enjoy doing outside of work?
I'm to the point in my life where I'm kind of more of a homebody now. I don't go out a ton, but I do like to be active. And when it's not 115, anything outdoors. I do play adult recreational sports. So I play flag football, soccer, and kickball. And so I try to stay active as far as team sports go. And then I love to snowboard, mountain bike, play golf, really anything active. You could throw anything at me and I would probably enjoy doing it, whether it's pickleball or whatnot. So from that perspective, just anything that keeps me active, which is fun. I have a lot of weird hobbies. I like to, make things, or I get an idea to create shelves in my house and I'll just, come up with a plan and decide that this is what I'm going to do and create something from nothing. So that's exciting to me. But yeah, I'm pretty easygoing. I go with the flow and enjoy doing a lot of different things.
That's awesome. And I'm actually going to call you out because I know this. I know a few of us may know about this, but you collect whiskey, bourbon, scotch, right?
Yeah, it's I don't know if it's the most like a hobby that I tell everyone about, but it really is more of like a collection type thing. It's not that I drink all the bottles. It's most of them are actually unopened. It's more you find these rare bottles or these unique small distilleries from around the country, and I belong to a couple of groups, and so we talk about all these different bottles and what we like and unique how they taste very unique. And so it's become a hobby that I like to share with my friends and have people over. We do different tastings and things like that. So yeah, not that I'm an expert, but I've just dove in and I know a lot about that world.
That's awesome. Well, I do know, I believe it's Jessica Roberts, who you'll probably meet at some point. She's on our Salesforce team. I know she and her boyfriend do a whiskey and wine tasting party during the holidays. So cool. I have wanted to copy that. So we'll have to get the pointers together to throw one of those. So that's awesome. So I know you're active and we are, we're still socially distanced, but we're not quite as heavy in the quarantine as we were, but still not able to do everything that we've wanted to do. What are some of the things that you're dying to do once kind of social distancing is done and we're hopefully over all of this?
Sure. I mean, fortunately, I've been able to do a little bit of traveling, mostly just to Tucson to see family and, like Sedona, little weekend trips. But it'd be nice to just travel and not have any restrictions at all once quarantine things smooth out a little bit. But I do like to travel. It doesn't matter where it is, if it's within the United States or somewhere internationally. It'd be fun just to get out and travel again, and even just simple things like going to the movie theater, like to see a movie that comes out. We just stuff we take for granted. That it would be fun to do those things again as well.
Totally. Yeah, I completely agree. And you have a lot of different skill sets. So I don't know if any of these are new, but have you developed any new skills during quarantine?
I've one thing I love to do is I love to cook. My mom is actually a gourmet chef, and
Oh,
so I grew up cooking with her, and so I love experimenting with food, and I've always liked to do that. But I think this whole quarantine situation has given me more opportunity to be at home and to experiment a little bit more. So whether it's stuff on the grill or just coming up with unique recipes, I love to cook. So maybe I've gotten a little bit better. Other people would probably be a better judge of that, but I spent some more time during quarantine cooking.
that's amazing. What have you been cooking a lot of? What's, I guess, one of your favorite things to cook?
I can never be a vegetarian. Let's put it that way. I'm a meat eater, so anything that involves meat, good steaks, and I've been doing some different smoking type projects on the grill. So whether it's ribs or pork shoulders or briskets, just trying to do unique things. And I like to play with different rubs and sauces, and I just like, oh, this would pair well to get with this, and so I just kind of come up with stuff and create things on the fly.
That is awesome. And then last question, what would you like other slalomers to ask you about?
Wow. I don't like talking about myself, but if people if people want to know, I would say just, if they want to dive into my background a little bit, I think my background kind of lends into what I'll be doing here. But I'm kind of a technology nerd. I love jumping into the technology. So if people want to talk about anything technology, I'm always happy about that, or ask about what I know about certain bourbons or scotches or whiskeys or anything like that. Feel free.
I think a lot of people will be asking you about that. I know we have some like craft beer makers. I know we have some people who love their wine, and I'm sure we have people that love their whiskey and bourbon and scotch too. So I'm sure
Yeah.
you'll get plenty of questions around that. And we might, whenever we can do something in person again, we'll have to have you throw us a tasting or cook us some food.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time, Ryan. It's great to meet you. Welcome to Slalom. Not great to meet you, but talk to you. Everybody else
Sure.
meet you. Welcome to Slalom, and let us know if you ever need anything.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Bye.